Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Friday. Hope you're having a good day and whatever it is you're doing, be safe and look after yourself. But we're talking in this video around an update around Pierre Højbjerg situation. Basically another development as to a potential departure come January time. There's some factors that play into it as well. So I'll go through the factors, I'll go through the story and everything like that. I do also want to talk about the fact that the Player of the Month and Manager of the Month news has just been released, as well as an interesting clip that comes from the overlap between Roy Keane and Ian Wright. So we'll go through it. But first and foremost, yes, the Player of the Month and Manager of the Month, Spurs have done a double. So Ange Postecoglou obviously winning the Manager of the Month and Heung-min Son winning the Player of the Month. I don't think the Son one surprises anyone. You know, 6 goals in 4 games kind of speaks for itself, you know. It's an incredible amount of goals in that sort of game time. And the fact we played, you know, some quality teams in that time, you know, playing, you know, you obviously got a double at the Emirates. You know, we're playing Liverpool where, you know, he did get a goal in the Liverpool game as well. And yeah, he's just had a very, very good September month. And yeah, absolutely deserved for sure. The Ange one, the reason why I was a bit more surprised about Ange was the fact, yes, he went undefeated again, 3 wins and a draw. So did Mikel Arteta, and I kind of thought they'd try and give it to someone else so it doesn't become, you know, oh, he's winning it every month, that kind of vibe. But do you know what? He won it again, and I don't blame him. I think, you know, he had a very difficult month in terms of fixtures, you know, away at the Emirates, at home to Liverpool. Yeah, we've had a really good month in September, so definitely, you know, still deserved. It's just, you know, I didn't expect it as much as, you know, the Sonny one. So definitely some good news there, and wouldn't mind doing a triple. Could we do a triple? Potentially. There's some all right fixtures coming up that if we could, you know, even win out maybe, you know, you never know. Yeah, I think if they would win a third one in a row, Ange, I think we'd probably have to win every game in October because they'd go, God, we need to give it to someone else. He can't win it 3 times in a row. Let's talk the Højbjerg situation. So look, background, we know Højbjerg's got some new representatives in terms of agents. Basically, that means, you know, you're looking to sort of move out quite soon. Obviously, we're looking at 2.5 months till the January transfer window. We also know that there are quite a few clubs interested. We obviously knew about, you know, your Atletico Madrid still being interested from from the summer that's just been onwards now. We know about Roma and how, you know, Mourinho quite likes him and, you know, he does have an interest in him. And I talked about Juventus previously. There is more developments to the Juventus situation. So let me give you the background first. So obviously, if you're not aware, Paul Pogba has tested positive for testosterone. And they then tested the B sample, so the backup sample, and again, tested positive. That's like the, once you test positive once, if you test negative on the B sample, it could just be an anomaly. If you test positive both times, it does kind of look like you were doing something that you shouldn't have been doing, right? And in turn, that leads to a most probable suspension of, you know, a decent longevity. I think they said it's up to 4 years potentially. I doubt they're going to give Pogba 4 years. I really don't think they would. But, you know, you might get a year or 2 suspension. You know, Rio Ferdinand missed a lot, you know, because he missed that drugs test. But, you know, so it wouldn't surprise me if at least gets a year, maybe 2 years. But there's also the situation around Nicolo Fagiolo. So he is a younger central midfielder at Juventus who, if you aren't aware, the Tonali and Zaniolo situation, they kind of got released from the Italian national camp for this international window to go and speak to the authorities around illegal betting. Fagiolo has also been investigated for illegal betting. And look, again, it's their supposed idea is that you could get banned up to 3 years or if you're found guilty. So, you know, you're looking at maybe 6 months, you know. I would say, look, if Ivan Toney's getting, you know, 9 months, whatever it was, this is something that is exactly the same. It should be 9 months, you know. I believe you can't take, you know, one guy and go, it's 9 months there, but it's 6 months this guy. It's 9 months. You know, there should be a blanket thing for all betting. Doesn't matter if it's 1 or it's 3,000. I think you should be banned for at least a certain amount of time. Obviously, if you only bet once compared to someone bets 3,000, maybe you do a little bit more for the guy on 3,000. But at the same time, there should be a minimum sort of banning period if that's what you want to go down. You can't open Pandora's box and then shut it when you want to. You've opened it now. You've got to continue on that. That's not to say I agree with it or not. But what I'm saying is there needs to be legitimacy, and there needs to be a common theme with all of it. You know, if you do bet once or you bet 3,000 times, minimum ban is X. That's the way it should be, right? So in that case, these two are potentially, well, those three, Tonali, Zaniolo, both playing in the Premier League, but also Fagioli, who's playing at Juventus. So this comes from Rahman Osman, who is a football writer for London World, who put out that Juventus are interested in Højbjerg with Pogba banned for doping and Nicola Fagioli being investigated for illegal betting. Højbjerg wants to play more. There's no doubt he wants to play more. Like I said, before the start of the season, of 150 games that he could have played in, he's played in 145. So he was playing a lot of football over that period of time since he joined Spurs. This season's been a different story, with obviously the fact that we're playing a different brand of football that requires you to want to pass the ball forwards. And Højbjerg doesn't really do that. And if he does do that, he doesn't do it well enough. I've been very consistent with Højbjerg. I think he's a good player. I think Højbjerg has value in certain systems. You know, if you, like I've said previously as well, you know, if you're down to 10 men, aka Luton, if you're trying to hold out for a win, the idea is you bring him on because he's a defensive-minded player. If you're chasing a game, you wouldn't really want to bring him on. Now, ironically, against Liverpool, he brought on and kind of built up the tempo a little bit. But, you know, when you've got 30 yards of space in front of you and no one's pressing you, you should pretty much pick up the tempo because that's kind of being allowed to you by the opposition team. But the fact that he has a market, I do kind of see this being a situation where you could kind of get an auction about Pierre. I mean, look, he wants to go. I think that's quite obvious. He's no longer a big name in the team. You've got Italian football that want him, and he literally has Italian football written all over him. He really does. Like, it's that slower paced football. It's methodical, it's defensive, it's tactical. It's all things that Højbjerg would really revel in. And actually, I think he would probably go up another level in his ability. You know, he's still in his prime. He's still got plenty of years to offer. And in the Italian league, he could give you 4, 5, 6 years probably, you know. And, you know, in the Roma situation, you know, you've got obviously Mourinho and Juventus. You've obviously got the situation where they're going to lose 2 midfielders. They need to at least bring someone in. They're losing Rabiot potentially in January / the summer next year because he's out of contract. So Højbjerg could give you that opportunity to kind of come in there. Now, the only thing is there's not a ton of there's not a lot of money in Italian football. And do Spurs have the situation on their hands where it's a loan with an option, not with an obligation? I just think that we're going to get loads of loans with an option. As soon as someone goes, here's a loan with an obligation, we'll take it, no matter what the price is, because then you're guaranteed money. I think we've been kind of screwed a little bit recently with the whole loan with an option to buy. People haven't been taking it up, and we need to kind of get the guarantee in that they're going to take it up, so we don't have to come back to next summer where you have to deal with the situation of moving them on all over again. You know, we've got people out on loan right now. We've got people in the squad right now that can't really move. If you can move someone, just move them. Because at the end of the day, you need to start clearing out spaces in the squad for people that, like I said, are going to be around for the future. And, you know, Højbjerg doesn't seem to be that kind of guy. Eric Dyer doesn't seem to be that kind of guy. And Perisic doesn't seem to be that kind of guy. It's about moving them on, bringing in guys that are Ange guys that are going to play Ange kind of football. And it's ironic, Perisic probably would have done, but it's just one of those things that's getting to the end of his career. He wants to go back home. I don't blame him. But there we go. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section below around the Højbjerg situation. Do you see him moving? Where do you see him moving? And what sort of deal do you think we get for Højbjerg? I'm interested to see what you kind of think. Do you think we get a loan with an option, a loan with an obligation, or do you get a proper sale? Keen to see what you think. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.